The Pokemon world is a very strange and wondrous place, with loads of mysteries lurking around. Now, one of the most interesting aspects of Pokemon to me has always been the mythology, so why not take a look at the mythology behind some of the most well-liked Pokemon, the Pseudo Legendaries. Let's uncover the mythology and origins behind these Pokemon's names, as well as their designs, and do they deserve to carry the title of Pseudo Legendary? Dragonite, the first pseudo-legendary, a Pokemon that carries a massive amount of love to its name. As for the mythology behind it, we can uncover a lot from just the name Dragonite. It's pretty straightforward, as it references dragons at the start of its name and mixes that with the word knight, with its pre-evolution having also a clear inspiration to them based on sea serpents. So the mythology that inspired Dragonite is clearly a mixture of course, European dragons, like old folklore dragons from Europe, as well as mixing in knighthood, right? And you can actually see it in its design, and you can also tell in its design that it has a very knightly, elegant kind of style to it. And of course, we can't forget the sea serpent inspiration to its pre-evolutions, of course, with Dratini and Dragonite, because they've got that sea serpent design to them. Now, Tyranitar. The second generation pseudo-legendary Pokemon Tyranitar and its origin is clearly based around lizards, as well as a kaiju, also known as Godzilla, the most popular one of course, which can be seen also in its design pretty well, as it's got that green color to it the same way Godzilla does, and overall it's got that Godzilla style design and build to it. However, its name is quite interesting as it does mix the word tyrant, whom we all know is essentially an evil leader, right? That's what tyrant means. But on top of that also, it uses the word tar, which is a sticky dark substance that's extracted essentially or formed, through fossils and that sort of stuff. And of course, this all fits with Tyranitar considering it's a dark type Pokemon, so a dark substance being part of its name makes a lot of sense. And another interesting fact is that its Japanese name is Bangirasu. Now, it's a really hard thing to say, I apologize for my pronunciation, but this is a play on the name Anguirus, which is a kaiju from the Godzilla franchise, so the more you know. So, Salamence, one of the two majestic pseudo-legendaries from the Hoenn region. Now, Salamence definitely has an interesting mythology and origin to it. Its name is using a combination of salamander, as well as the word menace, implying it's a menacing salamander with its name, Salamence. However, another interesting point is that its design and wings could be based on the popular manga from the 90s and 80s known as Devilman, which recently actually got a Netflix reboot. And you can actually see how the Devilman design inspired the design of Salamence, with its wings being really, really similar. And not just that, but also the body color to that of Salamence is very similar to that of Devilman in the original show from the 80s. Now, this isn't exactly a proven thing, but it does seem like it could have an inspiration from there. However, this next one is really hard to pinpoint, and that's got to be Metagross. See, its mythology is really difficult to figure out. So Metagross' name seems to mix the word meta, which is a word that essentially has the meaning after or beyond. However, it could also be a shortened version of the word metal, which they may have rather used than going for the full word metal instead, right? And as for the part of its name where it says gross, it could be the play on the word cross, right? So it makes a lot of sense, as Metagross literally has a giant cross on its face, and of course the word gros in French also means a large amount. So it could be that Metagross essentially means beyond a large amount or after a large amount, which I'm not sure what that would imply. It does sound a little bit odd. Maybe it's trying to imply that this Pokemon is larger than like normal things and beyond just normal like human conception of like size maybe, or something like that. Or maybe it's just that it's fat. Honestly, it could just be that. I don't really know. Now, as for its design, it could also be based on a spider, and some also people imply that it could also be based on UFOs with the kind of like different parts of it kind of coming down. So it could be a spider, it could be a UFO, you decide. Garchomp, the probably most popular of the pseudo-legends, with its design being based on a hammerhead shark, Garchomp has found itself as the favorite of many people. I mean, genuinely, it's an amazing design. It does seem to also have a bit of a fighter jet design to it, besides the whole shark or hammerhead shark design. It does have a fighter jet design to it, which can actually be seen in its arms, as well as the top of its head, where you can see these torpedoes or missiles that are essentially its ears on its head. And as for its name, Garchomp, right, it's a mixture of the word gar, which is the name of a really strange little meat-eating fish, right? And also the word chomp, which basically just means bite or chew. And it does make sense considering it's meant to be a shark. But another interesting thing is people also suggest that it could be based on the land shark, which is kind of a mythological type thing, or like an urban legend or whatever. So who knows? It could be based on that, could be based on something else. What do you guys think? Hydraegon. Now, this is the most fun of the Pseudo Legendaries to kind of dissect, as it's based on the well-known Hydra from Greek mythology. And you can hear in its name the references to the Hydra, being of course the HY part. Then you have Dre, which is basically the number 3 in German, drei, you know? And then you have the word gon, right at the end, which is dragon, right? Dragon. So this is probably one of the most fun mixtures of words and origins for a Pokemon. Some have also suggested it could have a little bit of a kaiju design to it, which does make sense because Game Freak has used the inspiration from many different medias when they were about to create Pokemon as a way to get inspired. Then we have Goodra, Generation 6. Now, the problem with Goodra is it's honestly the least interesting of the ones, mainly because its name is really just mixing the word goo and then dragon, Goodra, right? Gooey and dragon. It's really just that, and its design is just based mainly on a slug, and that's really it, so there's really not much else to say about it. Kommo-o. So yeah, next we have one of the most recent pseudo-legendary Pokemon, Kommo-o. Now, Kommo-o has its name's origin in the Komodo dragon, and it all makes sense if you listen to it. Komodo dragon, Kommo-o, makes sense, right? And that's also why its design is somewhat based on the Komodo dragon. And another thing about its design is also it's got a bit of a tribal warrior type of vibe to it. Some also people say it's a little bit of a samurai vibe, could be that, but also it could be based on the Ankylosaurus as well as the theropod dinos. So it could possibly be that they're based on those as well as many other things. And an interesting part about its name is that the mo-o part in Kommo-o actually comes from Hawaiian. So you can see how Game Freak used inspiration from Hawaii in parts of these Pokemon, because that's what the whole region of Alola was based on. So it's intriguing to see how they did that and how well they pulled it off. And finally, everyone's new favorite, Draga Pulse. Now, this Pokemon, I have to say, is one of my favorites from Galar, and it's clearly a really fun and quirky Pokemon, and they had a lot of fun when they designed this, obviously. Now, the first thing you will notice is that Draga Pulse is clearly based on a fighter jet with torpedoes on it that specifically look very much like the stealth bomber Northrop Grumman B2 Spirits. But there is another thing that it actually could be based on as well, which is the Diplodocus. Sorry if I butchered that, but basically this is an extinct genus of amphibians, and it's kind of interesting to look at it from that perspective. Another interesting fact really that I think is really cool is that amphibians in general are very protective of their, young ones. So what they kind of sometimes do is carry them on their heads, which maybe explains why we see Draga Pulse have these small dreepies out of its freaking head. Maybe that's how it takes care of them, though I don't know how that really works when it shoots them away. But who knows? Now, as for its name, it clearly mixes the word dragon with catapult, and I think we all know why the catapult part is in the name, as Draga Pulse straight up catapults away the Dreepy from its head. It's honestly kind of crazy when you look at it. So that is it, Pokemon fans and friends. I hope you all did enjoy the video, and tell me in the comments, what is your favorite pseudo-legendary? And also keep in mind, there's probably a lot more aspects that we didn't go over in this video about the pseudo-legendaries in terms of their origin, mythology, so keep in mind that if you want to share more about what their origins might be in your opinion, or what you may have discovered, then feel free to share it in the comment section down below, as it would be really, really appreciated. And also, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Also, a big thanks to the Pokemon.fandom wiki, as well as Bulbapedia for loads of this information and sources. I really appreciate the work you guys put in. So that was the video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you did enjoy it. If so, then feel free to like, and of course make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more future content. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the recent content. I've been trying my best to improve the quality of the videos, the editing, all that sort of stuff, as well as the sound audio a lot more. I hope you guys do enjoy that, as it's been taking a lot more of my time, which is why I don't post videos every day now, and I just don't push videos out unless I really am happy with them. So hopefully that quality kind of comes across. And I just want to give a big thank you to my current channel members. If you guys are aren't channel members and want to become channel members, you can do that. You get a little notification thingy, or not, sorry, like a little badge and whatnot, and access to emotes whenever we stream on YouTube. And yeah, it really does help me out as well, because YouTube's kind of rough nowadays. It's kind of hard to stay afloat. But if you guys want to become channel members, that'd be really appreciated. I'll try to do these kind of like things at the end of the videos where I thank the current ones. So just a quick thank you to some of the people that are already members. So first of all, it's Samir, thank you so much. Alexander Kato, thank you. Joker Plays Games, thank you. Peter Abate, thank you. Swiss XOL, thank you so much. Dimitri, thank you so much as well. Chris Ryder, thank you so much. Tokyo Ace, thank you. Voltage Spark 420, thank you. Shin Jacob, welcome, thank you so much. Well, Wesley also, thank you. Graham, thank you. Neko Dog 37, thank you. Tyler Isham, thank you. Gekon, thank you. Mando, thank you so much. Nathan Puntel, thank you so much. Putnell, thank you so much. Rhett Danley, thank you so much. Cherry Galactic, thank you. Carl Stewart, thank you. Jeremy DaCosta, thank you so much. Mr. Pikachu 245, thank you. Kieran Belcher, thank you. Seeking Glory, thank you. Jake Oliver, thank you. Justin Cochran, thank you so much as well. Sora 989, thank you. William Bowman, thank you so much. And 1991 Shadowheart, thank you. There's of course a bunch of you guys as well, but otherwise this video is gonna end up being freaking long, so I thought I'd just like end it off right here, guys. So thank you so much. If you guys want to become channel members, that'd be really appreciated. Helps me out, and of course allows me to make more high quality videos for you guys to enjoy, and of course just make sure that they're better. So thank you so much for the love and support. I really appreciate it, guys. I'll see you all the next one. Have a such great day. Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen.